Emily. Okay,
Hey,
Emily,
Denise.
I'm always going to remember you as Emily Kitzmiller, but you've married now since you started with
I
us.
have. Yeah.
Let's see, I've got to push, there you go. And you're now vendor working. Did I get that
Yep.
right?
Yep. Vander working.
Vendor. There you go. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today. It's definitely been a long time. Well, you have been with us for many years too. I'm going to read from the cheat sheet here, but I will say that we've known you for what, years? 3, 4.
3, 4 years. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah. And you first won for PSA in 2017, right? And your judge was Gary Dixon Foundation for a Better Life. And we're going to show your PSA. And also you're from Utah. And were you 19 when you won? I guess so, you were 19 because you're college.
Yeah, I was in college. I was probably 18 or 19. Not sure.
Yeah, 18 or 19. Now you're 22, and your major in college is graphic. So what's the exact major?
It's advertising.
Advertising.
It's advertising.
Okay,
yeah.
very. And so you've won also for best song. You wrote a brilliant song, and you were on the Texas trip as well.
Yeah.
You got to record your song, and we did it was a wonderful song, wonderful video, and it's one of the songs that with all of our other winners that's part of this amazing statistic. Where'd it go? Of millions and millions of plays on the radio. Let's see, 139 million, 81 radio stations. So it's been PSA, song. Is that it?
And then another PSA, yeah.
Oh, the second PSA. That's right, because it's not in here for some reason. There's two PSAs, and now this year we're going to show it. You did a wonderful. I don't know what you would call it. It's like is it a PSA as well? I guess.
Yeah.
That is going out on social media. We're going to show that. Okay, so we're going to show your first PSA. You're winning one at age 18, 19. And then right after that, we're going to show what you most recently did, which is a PSA as well.
Do you know what constitutes our Constitution? This living document that's a fusion of our forefathers' vision for the future of this nation? We have a Bill of Rights. We're not built for these rights, but we've been given these rights because we live. We don't have to pay every day when we don't watch what we say. A penny for our thoughts is not what we give, but we give off our thoughts by the way that we live. And there are soldiers who've died, men and women who've paid the price, in the blink of an eye given their lives to make our lives nice. And we can't fight to preserve these rights, to reach new heights, get through the darkest nights together if we don't know. We the people, we the future, can't make it right if we don't show an interest in learning the script that governs our lives. So forgive me if I'm wrong, but if you belong to this country, then there are rights that belong to you so long as you do one thing. You know your Constitution and your freedom that it brings. You can't fight for what's right. You can't find a flaw if you've never shed light on the supreme law of the land. The land of the free and the home of the brave requires your knowledge and God's good grace in order to save our human race in the face of terror. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you need to choose what you're going to do because you could lose everything.
So good. I would like to just see the written words. I don't know if we got that into, because it's like a poem that you wrote. It's very, very profound. What's the line there about the script? That's the script that governs our lives. What did you say there?
Oh, it's been
I
so
know.
long.
I've heard it. I've heard it time too. I play yours 400 times too. But anyway, it's a piece of poetry what you wrote. Very profound.
Yeah, thank you.
Very profound. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I've heard it so many times, like with Laura Lee Hicks. And you just look fantastic. And tell us about how you took the idea. It's for someone who thinks, oh, PSA, how do I do that? Walk us through the process.
So actually, the reason that PSA is so poetic is because I actually was trying to enter the song category, because I've always loved music. And so I was trying to write a song, and then it kind of turned out as a poem, and it wasn't really working in song form. So I just decided to turn it into a spoken word poetry type of a thing, because I was really inspired by that kind of thing in high school. And I think it worked out really well.
Oh, it did. It really, really did. The script that governs our
Thank
lives.
you.
Terrific job. Really, really terrific job. And it's been all over as well on the television. So tell us about your second work. It's like you're on David Letterman here. Set up the clip and we're going to show that.
So I was just ideating with my husband, and we came up with this together about what we could do to get people to realize that the Constitution is still relevant in their life today. And so we thought that a really pertinent thing in a lot of people's lives right now is social media. And so we wanted to highlight the First Amendment, their freedom of speech and religion in the PSA. And I guess I don't really want to give it away. So
okay, so here we go. We're going to play this. Good. That's so good. And you know, it moves very quickly, which is what I think that your generation, you're so, you know, when I started in showbiz movies, if you watch a movie from the 1980s or 70s, it was so slow, you know, the movies took their time and you had close-ups that took a while, and then you go to, but now everything's so quick. And for me, my generation, what? Oh, I gotta read that again. But for y'all, Juliet got it like that, you know, because that's the speed with which your brains are used to operating now, but really, really creative. And I know Jacob worked with that with you. But so I guess, so now that we've seen it, you thought, okay, social media proving that this, go talk about it one more second, because we just saw it.
yeah, so we just thought, what could actually affect somebody if we didn't have the Constitution? And a lot of people are passionate about a lot of things, and one thing is religion. And so we thought, what if people couldn't talk about religion anymore? What would that affect in their lives? And so we tried to portray that on social media by posting a picture on social media and having Instagram block it and say, we now restrict posts about religion, because although that seems kind of wild and out there, that's something that could happen in anybody's life if the Constitution weren't relevant, or if it weren't in our lives, or if we're in a different country. It's a lot more fragile than we think, but if we know it and we can stand for it, then we can keep our rights.
Well said, and very, very thought-provoking as well, just both of them. Okay, so talk to us about being with the Constituting America, and you've been a part of our youth board, and you're working with us now, and what the process has been like for you. You've heard the kids, the other students talk about the trip, but just the genesis of how you found us and the trips that you've been on.
Right, so I've been so fortunate enough to be with Constituting America for a couple of years now. I found them just when I was looking for scholarships right when I entered college, and I'm just about to graduate in the next year. So I've been with the Constituting America for my entire college career. And let's see, yeah, I found them on the internet somehow. I don't know, scholarship website somewhere, and I decided that I wanted to write a song, and I ended up making that first PSA that we saw. And then I kept entering year after year because it was just such a good opportunity. And my first year we went to Hollywood, so I was on the Hollywood trip and got to see Walt Disney Studios, and then we toured that. That was super amazing. And then the next year was the year that I won Best Song, and I wrote a song about, it was mostly about 9/11 and just the impact that had on the country, but that my generation and the children growing up after me don't know about that because we don't remember it or we weren't born. And so it's kind of a lament that we don't remember the past, but also kind of motivational, like we should do that, like the older generation should teach us about it, and we should care about it because our history is important, and it's important to learn from that. And so that was really cool to be able to record that and make a music video in Texas. That was really a really sweet, neat experience. And then this last year, we were able to go to Washington, D.C., did a lot of touring, got to see some great sites I've before I went to Washington, D.C. with Constitute America, I had never been to that side of the country. So that was a really, really awesome experience because I got to see so many things I would have never seen before.
Yes, and if people have talked about that trip, and whatever people have left out the State Department. You had a private tour of the State Department too.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Which is fun, and you've been such a wonderful spokeswoman for us, at the Department of Education and everywhere on the stage there. And then this past year, you performed on the stage as well, and Jacob did sign language for the entire event.
Yeah,
which was amazing.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was. So
that's Emily's husband, and yes, and he has a wonderful short film that he did, which was about sign language. And isn't it? It's a short film, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a short film, and it highlighted the freedom of speech and how that relates to people who are deaf and because they use sign language. And it was just a really cool juxtaposition of American Sign Language with the freedom of speech, because obviously all people still have the freedom of speech, even though expression is different for different people.
Exactly. It's really, really good. And then, so we asked him to I don't know what the technical term is. Are you looking at Jacob? Hi, he should come sit down.
Yeah, I am.
Come sit down, Jacob. We asked him to do the, come on. We asked you, hi, how are you?
I'm here as well. Good, how are you?
Since we found Emily, she was 19 and now she's married. That's how long we've known her.
Great.
And now we're lucky to know you as well. And but I never forget that we asked you to sign. Is that the proper way to say it? For the Department of Education event, thinking it would be an hour, kind of like this. And it was like 2 hours, and you stood there and you just kept doing it. And I turned to Emily, I said, man, is he going to be okay? Because it was so long. We're a trooper.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I'm lucky to be able to interact with all of you and your wonderful organization.
Well, it was a good trip. It was a really awesome trip. I mean, all those behind the scene tours, even of the documents, but and the State Department, that was a new one. I mean, everyone's talked about going in the West Wing and things of that nature, but well, the two of you are just powerhouses. You're going to change the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're gonna,
we appreciate that.
We're so proud of you too, and lucky to have you part of our organization. And now you're working to help promote your wonderful PSA there, and go out on social media. So it's our stroke of fortune that we know the two of you. And are you both graduating this year?
We both got one more year of college.
Yeah, so next April we'll be graduating.
But I'm just lucky that y'all could come on and be with us today and share all of your experiences and your talents with us. And hopefully people will be inspired that are in college to do it, to do short films and songs. We don't have enough time to show everything, but you can go to constitutingamerica.org and see, because we got to re-record your song, Emily, in Texas on that trip, and we did a music video as well. It's all at constitutingamerica.org. And Jacob, your wonderful short film is there as well, and all the winning PSAs. It's just a plethora of talent and work. It's like y'all are represented at Constituting America. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
of course. Thank you so much.